Hey, what is up, you guys? This is TheKapowie, and as you can see, I'm playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Domination on Standoff. And the reason it says follow at MLG Brazzle is because I do not have a capture card, so I had my friend record it for me, and he gives me the video, and that's just down there. So, you don't have to follow him, don't even look him up, it's fine. Anyways, this video is going to be a story about how I essentially just got stabbed. This happened about 3 or 4 years ago. I think I was in like 6th or 7th grade. I honestly don't remember all the specifics. But it was like right after I went to a different school. Me and my best friend had switched schools. He went to a different middle school than me, and I went to a middle school practically by myself, and I didn't know anybody there. So I had sorry about that. I had made friends with this one kid. I knew nothing about him, right? I'm not gonna say any names because people from my school might be watching this. But I made friends with this kid that I hardly knew anything about. Like, he came from school and he didn't know anybody there either, except for like one guy. That's beside the point. Like, we were friends. I hardly knew him. He hardly knew me. We were just like sticking together. And I was in Boy Scouts at the time, which is actually pretty cool. I don't see why everybody hates on it. It's actually pretty cool. But I was super awkward. He was my only friend, so I decided to bring him into Boy Scouts with me, which wasn't really the best decision, but whatever. So I bring him into Boy Scouts with me, and we become like really close friends. And Will meets him and everything. My friend Muffin Hat, he has a YouTube channel too. And then we're all friends in Boy Scouts. And this kid, he kind of gets angry easily. Like, he's pretty irrational. He's easily, like, he'd be the guy who's like, easy to pull the trigger or whatever. He gets mad pretty fast. He got bullied at middle school, and I didn't really do anything because I was one of those awkward kids, so I would probably just leave. I don't really remember the specifics, but I didn't want to be a part of it. He was already, like, in a bad mood all the time and everything. But we started going to campouts and everything, and nobody at Boy Scouts was nice to him. Like, everybody, like, who is this kid? Why is he here? And they were all super mean. It was ridiculous. And one day we go to a camp out, right? And, like, it's just me and him because nobody wants to share a tent with him because they're all dicks. So it's me and him in the tent. We're about to go to sleep, and this is, like, just me and him. This is how every camp I go is. It's basically just me and him. And even, like, Will kind of stopped hanging out with me because he's a cool guy now, but back then, he was one of those kids, like, super hyper and all that stuff. He would, like, talk crap to everybody, but it doesn't matter. But then we went to this one camp out, and I didn't really want to put up with him that day. So I'm standing at we had, like, this little propane stove thing that was, like, 3 by 2 feet, and we just, like, cooked stuff on it, and I was over there cooking stuff on it. And I don't remember what I did. I think I said that I wasn't going to, like, share a tin with him that time or something, and that made him really upset. He had to share a tin with, like, one of my other friends. That really made him mad. So I'm over there cooking, right? I said something before that, and then he was like, you know what, Chandler, you're a faggot. So I just started mocking him. I'm like, oh god, I almost said his name. I was like, you know what, you're a faggot. And I just, like, mocked him. He's like, you know what, dude, I'm done with this. And I'm like, okay. I keep cooking. But little I know, he's walking up to me with like a freaking metal fork in his hand. He just comes up and sucker punches me in the side of the head with a fork in his hand. I just put him in a headlock, right? I just take him to the ground. I just hold him down, and then the freaking adults come over there, right? And they just like, oh no, stop it, no. I mean, he wouldn't have done anything else, but like, adrenaline was pumping and everything. Because I really wasn't expecting that. That made me mad. Like, I was like one of the only people that was nice to him, and he comes and shanks me in the head with a fork. He walks off into the woods after he does that. And the adults take me over to this truck, right? Because little I know, I'm like bleeding all over my face. So I go to the truck. I had this hood thing on, right? I was one of those kids, like, if my grandma made me a sweater, I would wear it everywhere. So she gave me this hood thing that was like not a jacket, it was just a hood. It was pretty weird. But I was wearing that, and they take that thing off, and it's like covered in blood. I don't know the specifics on this, but it's like if you see blood when you're in adrenaline or whatever, you start freaking out. And that's what happened to me. I started freaking out. And then they like get a rag or whatever and put it on my head, and they pull it off, and there's blood everywhere. There's like blood dripping into my eye, and the kid just like walks off into the woods. I'm like, dude, what the heck? You can't just stab me and walk off. Like, they looked for him for a couple hours. He ended up, like, somehow getting into one of the adults' cars and locking it and sitting in there. It was pretty weird. I think I messed up his neck bad, too, because I just put him in a headlock and just, like, flung him down onto the ground. But, yeah, and then we get back from the camp out. Like, every time we go to camp out, we meet up at a church. And then we all get in cars and drive to the place. And we got back to the church, like, after the camp out. They were saying that they were going to, like, kick me out of Boy Scouts and everything. And I had to write an essay and, like, apologize to the officials who run Boy Scouts. I was like, no. I didn't do any of that. He did it, but I didn't do any of it. And they didn't even kick me out, but I stopped going anyways. But, we get back, and they go and tell my mom that he did that. And there's, like, a scat. There was, like, no hair at that one spot. And the ridiculous part was, I forgot to mention this. Like, after he... Okay. All my elementary school friends were in Boy Scouts with me. So I had like 5 elementary school friends that I didn't go to middle school with pretty much. And after he did that and I flung him down to the ground, they just sat there. It was like a cold camp out, right? And after I was out of the way of the girl thing, they all just huddle around it because they're cold. It made me so... I just look up and they're like penguins all at the freaking oven thing. And it made me so bad. I thought they would be backup. I want to remember that. I'm not going to be backup for them if they ever get in a fight. Anyways, they go and tell my mom. And she's like, oh my god, why'd you do that? And she goes and asks his mom why he would do that. And then she starts explaining that that made us better friends. I'm like, what? She's saying she had a fight with her friend one time, like a fist fight or something. And now they're the best friends ever. Like, the fighting made them stronger as friends, which made no sense to me. But, you know, whatever. So, that's practically how our friendship ended. Like, that was the end of it. I couldn't really put up with him anymore after he stabbed me. Yeah, that was ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't sound... Like, I used to get so much crap for this. Like, you got stabbed with a fork? But, dude, you don't even believe it. I swear, he was probably going for my eyes because he went, like, 3 times. And one of them was about 3 or 4 centimeters away from my eye. I could have gone, like, blind in my right eye if he actually had aim. But he didn't, luckily. So, my eye is safe. But he got me like 3 or 4 good times. But adrenaline was pumping, so I hardly realized any of it. And he goes to my middle school now. But we don't really hang out anymore. But like I said, he's a lot cooler now. I mean, I wouldn't really say we're friends like we used to be. But I'll occasionally talk to him. Yeah, that was my story of how I pretty much got stabbed. Don't give me crap about getting stabbed with a fork. That's why I usually didn't tell this story. But, you know, whatever. What is this buffering thing? Come on, Jacob. I'll put a link in the description to Radar Nerd, Jacob's channel, the guy who recorded this for me. That's his Twitter. Follow at MLGBrazzle. Maybe put it in small letters next time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.
Friendly RCXD inbound.